Good morning, Kenya. This is Kenya News Alert, and it is on the 25th of February 2025. I am your host, House of Zulfa. Welcome to the Morning Tea Show.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. This is Plain San Felix. I welcome you to the Morning Tea Show. I hope you guys, you are good. I'm good too. Zulfa, you good?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, I think this is another day, another golden chance we have been given by Almighty, at least to continue staying together and at least enlightening ourselves when it in this political life. So, Zulfa, what maybe do you think you're prepared for us?
A lot as usual. But before we get into Mother Koome and why Mother Koome is getting impeached, we could go to the magazeti Taifa Leo, alafu tujue ni nini kinachoendelea kwenye Taifa Leo asubuhi ya leo. So kuna jeshi la Sudan la komboa mji wa Obid, huku waasi wa RSF wakiunda serikali Nairobi. Kuna Ruto niliandikia askofu la ujumbe kwamba naja kanisani ila alikawia kujibu. Alafu kuna Murkomen anasema miili haijapatikana licha ya kudhibitisha watu 20 watoweka mpakani Turkana. Let's start with jeshi la Sudan. Jeshi la Sudan Jumapili lilikomboa mji wa Obid na kurejesha shughuli za uchukuzi katika eneo la kusini mwa nchi hiyo baada ya vita vya miaka miwili kati yake na kuunda la wapiganaji la Rapid Support Force, that is RSF. Wanajeshi hao pia waliweza kuwafurusha wapiganaji wa RSF kutoka ngome yake ya mwisho wa mkoa wa White Nile. Msemaji wa jeshi Brigadier General Nabil Abdullahi alisema kwenye taarifa Jumapili. Haya yalijiri huku RSF wakikongamana Nairobi kuunda kile walichotaja kuwa muungano wa Sudan Founding Alliance, waliosema ni mwanzo wa hatua ya kuunda serikali ya umoja katika taifa hilo lililoongozwa na vita. What would you say about that hao watu wamekuja Kenya, wameform serikali huko, si ndio? Alafu back home jeshi linaendelea kuwatoa in the cities that walikuwa wamechukua, wameenda huko wamezichukua.
Kwanza, I hope what we really need to get from those people is all about living in peace. Violent and other things will never be the solution, right?
Yeah.
So if possible, they really need to work on peace, and if possible avoid what we call violence. At some point, we don't really need to lose lives because of interest of individuals. Yes, and at some point, the fact that we really need to live in a free zone environment and conducive, productive, and friendly environment in our countries. There is no need to just reduce violence, maybe to restore whatever you really need to do. Before maybe you decide to do so, try dialogue. When it fails, then that will be the time you decide to do that. But remember, some of the individuals who are totally innocent will suffer the most. Yes.
Okay. That is good. It is true, violence is never the answer, sindio? Unless it is really the option, of which never. Hatua hiyo inaonekana kama pigo jingine kwa kundi hilo la wapiganaji ambalo limekuwa likiendeleza vita vya jeshi la Sudan tangu April mwaka jana. Mapigano hayo ambayo yameathiri pakubwa jiji kuu Khartoum na miji mengine yameshuhudia maovu kama vile ubakaji, mauaji ya kikabila, uhalifu wa kivita na uhalifu dhidi ya kibinadamu, haswa eneo la magharibi la Darfur. So that is really violent. And then I don't want to get back to that, but just excuse me. That is really violent, okay, sababu I don't want to get into that more, but that is really bad. And I'm loving that the jeshi ya Sudan inaendelea deal with them, okay? So I hope that peace will be restored back in Sudan and there will not be any cases like this. So mapigano hayo ambayo of which yes, hii ni kulingana na Umoja wa Mataifa na makundi ya kimataifa ya kuleta haki. So we hope that they will deal with that. Okay, so let us go to Murkomen. Asema miili haijapatikana licha ya kudhibitisha watu 20 wameweza kutoweka mpakani Turkana. Seriously. So, zaidi ya watu 20 wameripotiwa kutoweka kutokana na kisa cha uvamizi kinachodaiwa kutelekezwa na wapiganaji wa Dasnech kutoka Ethiopia dhidi ya wavuvi wa Turkana. Uvamizi huo ulitokea mnamo Jumamosi katika kijiji cha Lopeimukat kwenye mpaka wa Kenya Ethiopia, na maafisa wa serikali wamethibitisha kutoweka kwa Wakenya hao. Naibu kamishna wa Turkana Kaskazini George Orina alithibitisha kutoweka kwa watu hao ambao inaofiwa wameuawa na jamii ya Dasnech ama Dasnech. Bwana Orina alikuwa kwenye ujumbe wa Kenya uliojumuisha maafisa wa serikali kuu, viongozi wa kisiasa na wale wa kaunti ya Turkana ambao wamejaribu kufika ziwa Turkana lakini hawakufanikiwa, huku wakipokezwa tu maelezo na manusura. Okay? Hadi saa boti 16, bunduki moja na pikipiki moja zimepatikana. Watu 22 wakiwemo wafugaji. So what do you think about that? About those people that have wamepotea?
I think the only solution is maybe if possible if the government could contribute any program that maybe could focus and foster that could foster the way and means and all the actions that could be taken if possible to allocate them, and at the same time they really need to take into action the formulas and the considerations that could maybe bring up information and the source of this problem, if possible, to be eliminated. In fact, let me tell you, the best thing they really need to do right now is to all about to look for means and maybe, if possible, to come up with a program on how they are supposed to allocate these people. Yes.
Locate these people.
Yes.
Because hawezi potea tu hivyo.
Yes. And this is what I was trying to say. If possible, they come up with a good strategized formula on how to know what really happened and the cause of this, right? So
Yes.
that they can help this situation as early as possible. Kama maybe ni insecurity ilifanya, then wajua aje polisi wanafaa kukimbia hapo. Kama ni pia walikuwa kidnapped kwa mfano, wajue what is really needed to be done. Yes.
That is good, yes? Sindio? So watu 22 wakiwemo wafugaji wa kuhamahama na wavuvi bado wametoweka wala hawajapatikana, akisema Bwana Orina. Vyombo vya usalama viliandaa mkutano wa usalama pamoja na wenzao wa Ethiopia mnamo Jumapili na wakaweka mikakati ya jinsi watakavyofaulu kuondoa miili wanaodaiwa kuuawa. Jesus. This is not good, yes? Na kuokoa manusura. So it was a whole violence, a whole thing. Sindio? This is not good. This is not good at all. So tuliacha mifuko ya kuweka miili ili itumike iwapo mingine itapatikana kabla ya kurejelea operesheni Jumatatu. Wakasema kikosi cha Msalaba Mwekundu nacho kilikuwa nyanjani kutoa ushauri na saha kwa manusura ambao waliathirika na shambulio hilo kisaikolojia. Okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a question. It is all good, sawa, that the Red Cross wametuma huko people to deal with trauma and PTSD and all that. Sawa. But do you think that is what those people need right now?
Wait. Ati?
Wametuma watu, Red Cross wasema wametuma basically therapists and hey. Sababu, listen to this, sawa? Kikosi cha Msalaba Mwekundu nacho kilikuwa nyanjani kutoa ushauri, sawa? Na saha kwa manusura ambao waliathirika na shambulio hilo kisaikolojia. This is therapists, psychotherapists and counselors and all that, sawa? Wametumwa huko kwenda kucounsel those people. It is all good because mental health is the best thing.
Yes,
sawa?
yes.
But do you think they need that now?
Yes.
Sai.
Yes. Let me tell you.
You cannot process trauma sayo. And even if people like talk to you right now, sawa, unachikile moment yenye maybe someone comes here, sawa, and shoots you or shoots me, sawa, I cannot even process anything. My mind goes to, like, I'm gonna say to survival mode, sawa. So even you start talking to me sai, I sit and skiza chochote. I'll be just like but siskizi chochote. I think a day or 2 or 3, sawa, is when my mind starts to process that, to process kidogo. Even some people, it may take even months for them to ever
Zulfa,
process. Yeah.
I can say that you know they can play a very good role.
It is good. It is good.
Yeah, they can still play a good role because still those people need that psychological support, at the same time physical support. Yes, so that later they can be also sent. Yeah, they can be sent later on to go and maybe do the same.
Okay, so kwa mjibu wa chifu ya lokesheni ya Todonyang Raman Ekale, mzozo ulianza wakati ambapo wanaume waliojihami kutoka Turkana waliwapiga risasi watu 3 kutoka jamii ya Desej Amerile eneo la Nango Orekitoe katika mazingira ya utatanisha. These places are in Kenya, yes? So as you said yesterday, some places you look at them as like they're not in Kenya, sindio? Kama njia ya kulipiza kisasi, jamii ya Desej waliwaendea wavuvi wa Kenya eneo la Loipa Market na Nses ambao hawakuwa na habari kuhusu mauaji hayo. Unasikia? So this is like tribal killing. This one's killed this ones and this ones go to kill others just because mmetoka kwa hiyo mtaa na watu wetu waliuliwa na watu wenu, hata ujui ni unashutiwa, then you just die. This is not good.
Very bad. Very bad, I'm telling you, very bad.
So more of that kwenye Taifa Leo. You people could mwene kwenye Taifa Leo, you will get more of that. Sindio? Okay, so would you please mind introducing our today's topic?
Yes. We have been getting some of the information about Mr. Gachagua and Mother Koome. So the fact that everything happens with a reason. Gachagua ameamua kusema like there is a big reason why Mother Koome has received a proposal of impeachment, and if possible she's supposed to be impeached from the office, right? Gachagua amepeana information, ameaddress the nation akiwaambia naona amewaongelesha na amewaambia the reason why that woman is being fought. So whereby anasema Mother Koome ni anapigwa vita because she is not a yes person. Yes. So that is what we want to talk about.
And do you think that Mr. Rigathi Gachagua is right on saying that whatever is happening is unconstitutional? On saying that whatever is happening to Mother Koome is unconstitutional?
Truly, I can't say that whatever Gachagua is doing is wrong, whatever Gachagua is doing is right. But the fact is, I can just comment about the statement he could make. Yes. I can just comment on the statement he could make concerning the same matter. Unajua Gachagua yeye ndiye anaelewa hiyo mambo vizuri, sawa? So he decided to let us know that there is somebody who is being fought because the person is not a yes also. A yes sir person. So the fact that the fact that now he's trying to inform people what is going on and what is seeing and what is going to happen, then we really need to take in his word and try to digest what he's trying to pass to us. Yes.
Okay. So first of all, there's this statement that was released by Mr. Deputy President Kindiki. He said the Chief Justice and Supreme Court judges will be defended not because of their ethnicity, but because the attempt to bring down an entire Supreme Court for its decision undermines the independence of judges, threatens the rule of law, and fatally injures the underwriter of our democracy. That was yesterday. Sawa, aliandika hivyo akasema kwamba hawapigwi sababu of their ethnicity, because Gachagua said that and I quote him on when he was in Meru, and yesterday he said even when he was a deputy president he was asked many times to control the justice, the Chief Justice, and he did not, and then the president said that he ameshindwa to control the Chief Justice. So what would you say about that?
The Chief Justice is a different body, and it should not be interfered by another body. It is an independent body by itself. It has got its own president. So maybe when you really need somebody to start interfering, and if possible to control the other body, then it will be a violation of the law, because there is no place where the law suggests that if possible the deputy president or the president himself can control that area. But the fact is, it has got its own personnel who is in control. Sasa ni kama waanza kusema chief justice yakwe the president of the republic. Sasa unaona umeanza kuinterfere na executive. That is now what I'm trying to say. So by saying that if possible you could do that, then it could be a big mistake, because that is now what we call violation of the law. The law does not allow that.
True. Sasa apparently jana Mr. Rigathi alisema akasema ya kwamba Mr. Kindiki, you know, I don't know where he gets this information that he says, that is Mr. Gachagua, but either way he said that that Mr. Kindiki is from the mountain, from the Meru side, yes, and Mother Koome is from the mountain, from the Meru side. So apparently the Ruto wants to give that position to another person. So it's either eti Kindiki afanye pressure mpaka Mother atolewe, au yeye mwenyewe atolewe. Eti that is the option that Mr. Kindiki has been given by Mr. President. Would you agree to that?
Sasa hapo ndio inakaa vigomu kidogo. Sasa Kindiki anaweza changia aje upande wa kutoa Mother Koome kwa kiti? Ama ni mbinu zipi hizo sasa anaweza tumia? Unajua, let me tell you the truth, Kenyans are not stupid people. They know everything. Let me remind you that at some point Kenyans are learned, right? Sai wachache sana ndio maybe hawako into politics ama na mambo mengine wako tu. But people washafungua akili. Let me ask you, hata akimpatia hizo conditions, right? Who said that anaweza manage kwa kuconvince Kenya kwa njia gani? Unless maybe that mother that CJ amewahi involvisha kwa vitu zenye maybe wanaweza shikililia hivi kama nini.
Wangekuwa wameshazitoa sign. Wangekuwa wameshasema this is the reason why. Is there a reason why umesikia?
Mimi sijasikia.
Exactly. So unaona it's just shady. It is just shady. Because auski chochote hawajasema this. Unajua ungebaki, this is the evidence that this Mother Koome has been corrupt, has been doing this, has been hakuna. Ni some basis that we understand what is.
Hakuna.
Yeah, so why? So Gachagua anasema they are fighting the mountain. Anagusa mlima. So let me ask you a question. So do you think that Kindiki ataka a deputy president for all those years? What do you think?
If he is going to be in that office for the
entire term
miaka 3 miaka 3 ni michache, anaweza maliza. Anaweza maliza. Anaweza maliza, believe me.
Kuna madam anaitwa Jerry Maina, sawa, ni women rep from Kirinyaga. Amesema, I'm asking President Ruto and his choir masters whom we see going around insulting people to leave Mother Koome alone so she can do her job. They should respect Kenya's judiciary, because when citizens are oppressed, their last resort is the judiciary. Yeah. So wanaambiwa wamwache afanye kazi. Like right now, Gachagua kesi yake haijaweza kufanywa. Sababu nini? Kisa ni because the executive wanna control the nini.
The judiciary.
Judiciary, and it cannot.
There is an information I want you also to have from Deputy President Kindiki. Is responding to Gachagua, telling Gachagua that we will run you out of town. Yeah, he could tell Gachagua, if possible, we will run you out of town. Where do you think, which town are they trying to refer? Which town is he referring to? And in which way are they going to run him away from that town? Sasa nitufikirie mara mingi. So Deputy President Kithure Kindiki now says,
anasema hivyo wapi kwa video?
I could see it kwa nini kwa gazeti. Now Deputy President Kithure Kindiki now says he will lead the campaign to run his predecessor Rigathi Gachagua out of town, saying the government will not intimidated by his anti-government crusade. Right? So in a quick rejoinder, hours after Gachagua's television interview, during which he blasted the Kenya Kwanza administration from his Wamnyoro home, Kindiki on Monday fired back at Gachagua, saying the former deputy president was in a panic mode because the government had started turning the tide. The former deputy president should be panicking over the consultative forum we are holding. He hasn't seen anything yet. We will run him out of town.
What?
Another thing, Deputy President added that the impeachment process of Mother Koome, it is not political but constitutional. So whatever is going to happen, it is not political. Si mambo yao. Ni constitutional.
And what has he done?
Exactly, kidogo sana nikuuliza the same question.
What has she done?
Mimi kidogo nikuuliza aje. Na deputy president amefanya nini kuprovia wa Kenya aje huyu mwanamke ni ako innocent na maybe hayuko innocent. Na kama she is not innocent, this is what she has done and violated what? The law. Remember, the judge is not supposed to violate the law. Then they are supposed to come up with information convincing us that this is what this madam has done, and if possible, and this will be the penalty. Yes. So, at some point, we really need to be transparent enough. Not just because of being of other things and yes, yeah, we really need to be transparent enough. Yes.
Yes. It is true.
So the information is saying, whereby Kindiki could maybe talk about Koome. Yes. Removal of judge is constitutional, not political. So he was trying to respond to Deputy President Gachagua, right? Yeah. Anasema like kidogo ni confirm hapa. So anasema that let me read this information. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has joined the steaming debate on the removal of judges amid burgeoning claims against Chief Justice Mother Koome. Taking to his X account on Monday, Kindiki opined that posting a judge is a provision guided in the Constitution and is not a political or ethnic matter. Unanielewa? So ana continue akisema he added that those seeking to oust and those defending embattled jungles should use lawful avenue to stage their arguments and avoid public incitement. Accusers and defenders of judges must use constitutional and legal arguments to state their positions rather than trivializing such a weighty legal matter by bringing in ethnicity into the equation. Who defends judges who may be innocent but do not have ethnic godfathers? His sentiments seem like a silent rebuttal to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who threatened to take action if CJ Koome is ousted. Yes. So, addressing a congregation in Meru on Sunday, Gachagua accused President William Ruto of hashing a plot to oust CJ Koome, warning that he will mobilize mass action against the state. You understand?
Yes, I do understand.
So, she is being fought because she has refused to be a yes sir person. If you chase our mother Koome, don't sit. If you chase our mother Koome, don't set foot in Meru. You chased Rigathi Gachagua and the Mount Kenya people were silent. You thought they were cowards. Those were Mr. Rigathi Gachagua's words. We are telling you, if you dare plan to chase Mother Koome, stay in Nairobi and do not step in Meru again. Unaelewa? So this comes as the Judicial Service Commission confirmed the receipt of 5 petitions and complaints filed against various judges of the Supreme Court and High Court this year, including CJ Koome. So, the JSC Vice Chairperson Isaac Ruto announced that Advocate Nelson Harvey had filed a petition on January 10th against Koome. Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, Deputy Chief Justice, right? Njoki Ndung'u and Justice Mohammed Ibrahim, Dr. Smokin Wanjala, Isaac Lenaola, and William Ouko, citing grounds of gross misconduct and misbehavior. Yes. So, should it find merit in the Nelson Harvey petition, JSC will then recommend to the president to form a tribunal for their removal from office. So the JSC vice chairperson added that the cases will be dealt with in accordance with the process and procedures that guide them. Umenielewa? Yes. So, the government has really has the need to oversee these things, and if possible, let every department of the Kenyan arms of government to be serious at once and in fact respect each other and avoid interference from the other arms of the government, the department. Yes. Yeah, that is now what I can say.
Yeah. Wacha hizo departments zikuwe serious.
Hizo department zikuwe serious.
It is bado correct. Hizo departments zikuwe serious.
Yeah.
So, the producer says there's a courtesy of KTN. So, there's if you could listen about what Rigathi Gachagua said yesterday, because it is better when someone really listens than being told what he said. So yes. So as the producer is doing that, let me tell you, it is a shame. It is a shame when the executive wants to control the judiciary and the legislature. Like, what is happening? What is happening with all that? So, easy departments are in the same but very different, and they should become independent so that a government may be, in fact, no demokrasia ikue.
Yes.
Like, lazima kila moja hiwe tofauti na nyingine. Wakati these people want this thing to become the same thing and to be controlled by one body. There's that MP, that woman ref from Kirinyaga nimesoma, amemwambia mwacheni Martha Koome afanye mambo yake, sababu Martha Koome akifanya mambo yake, then Kenyans are getting justice. Right now we cannot get justice. Hata kesi yako unapeleka when like hata wewe sema appealing to a higher court right now. Which higher court are you appealing to? Sawa? Because even that higher court, like the Supreme, mali ambapo aitwaje? Yule Mary, yule mdada. Mary. Alivyoenda kusimama pombele. Right now, sawa, you can't go there to ask for justice right now. In fact, that she was lucky that she got justice. Sawa, hakuna justice sahi. As someone said here, if the chief justice
is seeking for
seek justice, how can I mimi common mwananchi get justice? Kama unajua the chief justice ni mtu ambaye like that is umesema ni president wa whole department. Let me just use that word. So an whole department. So and right now that chief justice doesn't have justice. So how? You know, I'm laughing, but it is not.
It is
good.
funny. It is funny.
Okay, of which it shouldn't be. It should not be. It should not be funny. Sawa, hatupo sawa. And like, let me tell you right now. Hey, where? No. Aish. And let me tell you, Ruto ameamua kutouch the mountain. Sawa, anaitouch tu. Nini mkisema eti usiguse anaenda anaitouch kwa like mtadu. Sawa, anaitouch and he's touching it. Anaitouch. Because he is there now, like, see, as you heard Gachagua say, mother is from the mountain. Sawa? And mimi hii story ya kuambiwa Tikindiki ameambiwa achague between the two. Sawa? Achague between the two. Yeye atoke, a position yake ipewe someone from another tribe. Sawa? Ama mother atoke. And unadhani Kindiki atakubali kutoka?
Lakini sasa unajua hiyo ni kitu yenye iko funny guy. Hey, everybody might fight for.
I don't know where Rigathi gets this information from. But information yake man, sawa, iko tu fiti. Like unjape option mbili. Like it's either huyu mmoja atoke ama wewe utoke. Wewe unadhani bro atakubali kwa kutoka? Atoke aje. Afadhali apane sistake. Aende. Damn. It is not good. Let me tell you, it is not good. It isn't. I see Raisi. Let me tell you, Felix, see Raisi. Ukuje waambiwe between you na Zulfa mtu mmoja choose mwenda kama Kenya News Alert. Let me tell you, it will become more. Sawa? It will become more. After ukuje uniplantie bangi hapa. Ukwelewa? Na mimi niseme anavuta cocaine. Nilimpata nini because I don't know why people get petty when it comes to, if that's for real, if that's the issue, yet huyu mmoja amempoa chague moja na huyu mwingine achague moja. So kuzuri. Sawa? Aish. No. So I don't know if that video is ready to about to be ready. Okay, no, because I want kidogo, yani I want just one Gachagua aongee mwenyewe msikie vile amesema ilikuwa ni option ya watu wawili and all this because nisikuwa nasema story yangu hapa hivi ajaba. Sawa, like yeye mwenyewe aseme vizuri what happened, and amesema ya kwamba hata in fact hata yeye mwenyewe alikuwa like ashaanza kuambiwa amtoe chief justice yeye mwenyewe from them. Yeah.
Current political landscape rather, and his vision for Kenya in terms of his political future and whatnot. So much to talk about. Rigathi Gachagua, once again, thank you so much for your time and welcoming us to your abode.
Thank you, Rogers. Once more, welcome. And I take this opportunity to thank KTN for granting me this interview to talk to the people of Kenya. And from the onset, let me send my condolences for the loss of Njoroge Maura, a very renowned journalist. When KTN came into being in 1991, I don't know whether you were born.
Let's not go there.
Maura was very, very, very instrumental. And we admired him a lot, so I want to send my condolences to his family, to the KTN family, and to everybody. Otherwise, I want to say welcome, and I'm looking forward to good conversation.
Asante, let's get right to it. And of course, we'll start with the very recent developments. You were recently in Meru. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, you launched fresh accusations against President William Ruto, alleging that he's orchestrating a plan to remove Chief Justice Martha Koome from office. Can you substantiate these claims? The claims that the purge in the Supreme Court, in the judiciary, is politically motivated?
Yes, it is. I was deputy president and principal assistant to President William Ruto, and I'm privy to many things. I also have a responsibility as a leader in this country to let the people of Kenya know what is happening. President William Ruto schemed a long time ago to remove Justice Martha Koome as Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court because of refusing to be compromised.
And he shared this with you?
He shared with me, and many times he even quarreled me that a daughter from the mountain is being problematic and accused me of being unable to manage Martha Koome to do things the way the president wants. And I told him it's not possible. I had many discussions with Martha Koome, and she's a stricter to the rule of law and constitutionalism. She's a very respectable judge, very qualified, and she got that job through merit. And I was against it. And I think the matter was put on hold until I was hounded out of office. And the matter now has been put in top gear, not just to remove Mother Koome as a Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, but to remove the entire bench of the Supreme Court. And I must tell the people of Kenya that we must be very careful, because the president warns and pronounced himself before me many times that as president, he needs to manage the electoral cycle from the IBC all the way to the Supreme Court. And many times he indicated his desire to have the entire bench replaced so that he can put in place a bench that will do what he wants. And that is very dangerous for the country, because if he puts a bench that he wants to manage the conflict, if any, after the elections, the people of Kenya will not accept it. And what is happening is very simple. The president has the numbers in the Judicial Service Commission. So any proceedings against Justice Mother Koome and the 7 judges and the other 6 judges will just be a kangaroo court. It will just be like what happened to me in the Senate and the National Assembly. It will be predetermined. The president will thereafter set up a tribunal himself, and he will determine the outcome. So what we are looking at, I'm not just defending Justice Mother Koome. It's the entire bench of the Supreme Court. These are judges of impeccable credentials. These are judges with proven track record. These are judges who have made monumental decisions in accordance with the rule of law and the Constitution for the benefit of the Republic. And if the president has his way, bulldozes through the Judicial Service Commission, where he has the numbers, these judges will not get any justice. It will be a kangaroo type of thing. And then they'll give a recommendation to the president to set up a tribunal to try them. And the outcome is predetermined. So I need to ask the international community to keep a very close eye on this country, because if the president succeeds in putting his bench at the Supreme Court, he will have completed the state capture. Already as we speak, he has captured Parliament, both Senate and the National Assembly. He has captured the opposition. The only remaining line of defense for the people of Kenya is the judiciary. So if he succeeds, as he has planned, it means that the president has really captured the entire country, all the arms of government, and he'll do whatever he wants. And that level of impunity is dangerous for our democracy, our constitutionalism, and the rule of law. And we must speak out, and it should not be allowed to happen.
Okay, allow me to interject, because not too long ago, and some people may call you bluff for this, you were critical of the judiciary, which you so speak highly of currently, questioning its independence, whether there are overtures from the executive and whatnot. So why should Kenyans believe that this is...
I've never had a blanket condemnation of the judiciary. I have spoken about individual cases, which is normal. And that is why when the Constitution allows appeals mechanism, so that if you are dissatisfied with a decision by the High Court, you can go to the Court of Appeal. If you are dissatisfied, you can go to the Supreme Court, because judges are human beings. They cannot be perfect 100%. But you cannot remove the entire bench of the Supreme Court. And you see what will happen is that the president will manage the appointment of the new judges through the JJC, because they are the ones who will interview and recommend for appointment. So what will happen is that if this is allowed to happen, one, is very dangerous for the country. You cannot have a vacuum where there is no Supreme Court, where an entire bench has been sent home as we process the tribunal mechanism. Again, the danger is there, because he has pronounced himself, and I have told you, he did it in my presence, that we must have a Supreme Court that we control. In fact, he told me, once you are president, it is very irresponsible for you to lose an election. Okay. You must control the election from IBC all the way to the Supreme Court. And the president is determined, and I know him.
And this was a private conversation?
Oh, yeah. Okay. But I must tell the people of Kenya because, in fact, initially I thought it's a joke. I never imagined that any president anywhere in the world would ever want to disband an entire bench of the Supreme Court. I mean, it would cause, one, a vacuum that is unacceptable, a constitutional crisis that a country can stay without a Supreme Court for a certain time. Okay. And it's a very dangerous thing, and we must not allow it to happen.
Then tell me this, Bwana Rigathi, if I can call you that. Allow me to quote you verbatim, because while in Meru, you said this: "We are telling you, if you dare plan to chase Martha Koome, stay in Nairobi and do not step in Meru again." That's just a quote from your statements. And to some people, this is a threat. This is incitement.
No, it isn't.
Of the Meru people against the head of state.
It is not a threat. It's not incitement. It's just a statement of fact. Many times I have offered free advice to the president. And when I was in office, I told him not to touch the mountain. I told him not to interfere with the mountain politics. I told him not to attempt to divide Mount Kenya East and West. He disregarded me, called me primitive, called me retrogressive, called me tribal, called me all manner of names. Today, it has come to pass, he has lost the mountain completely. He is struggling on the tails of Honorable Raila Odinga to sustain his government, to keep it in power. All I was doing when I was in Meru, I was not in any way threatening the president. I was just telling him a statement of fact. 90% of the people of Meru are through with him. The remaining 10%, if he goes ahead to remove Martha Koome as Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, he will lose the other 10%. So I was telling him, there is no need for you to come to Meru anymore because people, they will not be hostile. They'll be cold and indifferent.
So what happens if other leaders actually tell you, Rigathi Gachagua, you can't step in our region?
I'm not saying I didn't, I just gave him advice. I said, I did not even say he shouldn't. I said, if you remove Martha Koome. You know, I'm not saying he has not removed her. I said, Mr. President, you are planning with your deputy, the Mr. Yesa, because they are working together. And Mr. Yesa has been given the responsibility to make sure Martha Koome is out of the job. And in fact, the meeting that was held, and I've come to get the content, is that the president argues that Mount Kenya East cannot have the presidency and a head of judiciary at the same time. Because Mr. Yesa is in the presidency and Martha Koome is in the judiciary, the president has told Mr. Yesa, if Martha Koome is not removed so that we can take this seat to another region, you will have to go yourself. So you must make sure that Martha Koome is out. In fact, that is a responsibility he has been given. All these things that are going on, the petitions, the JSC, it is Mr. Yesa who is coordinating to save his job, because the president is clear that you cannot have the presidency in Mount Kenya East and also have the president of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice in the same area. And all I was saying, I am not threatening the president. I cannot threaten. I just told him the truth. I'm a truthful man. I was in Meru. Mr. President, you have hatched a scheme with your deputy to remove Martha Koome as Chief Justice. If you succeed, and he can succeed because he was able to remove a deputy president who is elected by 7.2 million Kenyans. So the one for Chief Justice is even much easier. Once you do that, your relationship with the people of Meru is irreparably damaged. And there is no need for you even to come to Meru because you get a very hostile reception. As we speak, the situation in that Mount Kenya East is already very bad for him. The other day he sent messages of condolence to a funeral in Embu. And the people said, we want to hear nothing about it. He has not been to Meru. Meru is worse than Embu for him. If he succeeds now in removing Martha Koome, the people of Meru will even be more wild they will be more hostile. And I was saying, Mr. President, because you don't listen.
Okay.
I tried to advise you, did not listen to me. Now you are struggling. You are begging Raila Odinga to save you, to hold your government together. You are going home unless Raila holds your hand. And even if he does, I don't think he'll help you. If you go ahead with this scheme with your Mr. Yesa and succeed in removing Mother Koome, if you dare come to Meru,
okay,
you'll have a reception that is very cold, that is very indifferent, and it's not good. And why I was saying that, why do I say that, Rogers? The institution of the presidency is very important for this country, and is a symbol of national unity. And the president should be able to go everywhere in the country and get good reception. When people start refusing to listen to condolence messages from our president, it really demeans the institution of the presidency. I would one day want to be president. I would want that institution to be held in high esteem. So it is also my duty as a citizen. It is civic duty.
Okay.
Where I find the institution of the presidency will be demeaned by acts of the president,
okay,
to advise him to think twice of removing Justice Mother Koome. Again, I also want to advise him, please stop disbanding the Supreme Court. It is not good for the country.
All right.
It will create problems. People will have serious doubts about the 2027 general elections, because if you put a bench that you have crafted, we already start going to the elections with a lot of doubts. And once people don't believe a process will be fair, we start on bad foot. And that is not good for the country.
So let me ask you this, and perhaps just ethnic godfathers, perhaps hinting that, the judiciary is apolitical. Politicians shouldn't perhaps interfere with the runnings of this independent arm.
Mr. Yesa cannot have a different opinion. He is an employee of President William Ruto. President William Ruto wants to remove Mother Koome and the other 6 judges from the Supreme Court. So his work is to defend. Automatically.
But the question...
But I'm asking, he's trying to say that my defense of Mother Koome is ethnic. I want to ask Mr. Yesa, when I said that the Director General of the National Intelligence Service is incompetent, members of the Somali community came out with fury to defend him. I never heard Mr. Yesa say that is ethnicity. When ODM members threatened to remove Speaker Moses Wetangula, members of the Luhya Nation from Western Kenya came out in numbers to defend Moses Wetangula. I never heard Mr. Yesa say anything. But when the people of Mount Kenya see that there is a problem here and one of our own is being victimized, then he says it's his ethnicity. Yet himself he is one of us. But
two wrongs don't make a right.
But I am saying, that's what all communities do. The Somali community have defended their own. The Luhya people have defended their own. There is nothing wrong with Rigathi Gachagua defending his sister. And because our MPs and senators have been compromised by President William Ruto that they cannot speak for one or their own, Mr. Yesa cannot see anything different from what he has been told by his employer. Somebody must speak also for the mountain people.
Okay.
And I really have no apologies, because I'm not the only one. When the Somalis defended their own, nobody raised an issue. When the Westerners defended their own, nobody raised an issue. And this is what is happening, Rogers, in this country. That the only people who cannot defend their own are the Mount Kenya people. It is called tribalism. But when other communities defend their own, or when they take a particular position, They are called tribalists. I saw the CS Interior saying that defending Mother Koome on my part is tribalism. Yet, 2 months before, when President William Ruto was under a lot of attack from all corners for mismanaging the country, that CS said that the president was being attacked because he's a Kalenjin. So I want to say, this profiling of the Mount Kenya people must come to an end. The Mount Kenya people, like any other community, have a right to defend their people. They have a right to articulate their issues. They have a right to say what is good for them and what is not good for them. And I want to ask the Mount Kenya people not to be apologetic about who they are. None of us made an application to God to be born where we were, where we were born. That is God's decision. And we must be allowed as a people to have our own identity and to articulate our issues like all other communities do.
So tell me this, and perhaps it's interrelated. What's the progress of your impeachment case in the corridors of justice? And equally, do you foresee an instance where you'll appeal all the way to the Supreme Court?
I don't know. My lawyers will deal with it. By the way, I'm really released both at about the impeachment and those matters in court.
Is there any progress on that case?
Yeah, we did file an appeal in the Court of Appeal. Because we were not satisfied with the bench, the 3-judge bench that was constituted by the Deputy Chief Justice, because the Constitution says she doesn't have such powers. But the judges ruled that they should go ahead, and we did appeal to the Court of Appeal. Today the matter was in court, and the Court of Appeal listened to our arguments and gave an order staying the proceedings before the High Court until the matter is heard. The matter is determined. So our lawyers are dealing with that matter. That's our lawyers. I am myself on another assignment, a very important assignment of crafting a new political strategy and joining the other people of Kenya to work out a mechanism of how to get this country back on track, how to make sure that we bring in a new government that will observe the rule of law, a government that will not abduct and kill our children, a government that will not make corruption the official government policy, a government that will listen to the people and that will not just be doing things with impunity. That, to me, is my focus. Whether I am cleared of the impeachment tag or not, it's neither here nor there.
So what do you tell those people who smell a rat in your defense of Chief Justice Martha Koome, that perhaps you're foreseeing such a scenario where the Supreme Court, this very same judges, might be dispensing off your case?
I don't think Martha Koome sat in the High Court where I don't think I got justice. She didn't sit there. It's other judges who sat there. And I don't know whether the matter will ever get to the Supreme Court or not. But I've told you that matter to me is a very small matter. And it does not inform my thinking. And I am just concerned about this country, that it is irresponsible to allow the president to disbar the Supreme Court. It's not good for the country. It will create a constitutional crisis. Again, it will make Kenyans lose faith in the entire electoral process. Because if the president succeeds and disbards the Supreme Court and installs his own judges in the Supreme Court, then this country is gone down to the dogs. The level of impunity will be in acceptable levels, and the president will have succeeded to capture the entire Kenyan state. He has captured the parliament as it is. He has captured the opposition. Now, if he captures the judiciary, we are done.
All right, let's shift focus to other matters, because just today, the broad-based partners, President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, had a presser, a conference, a meetup at State House in Mombasa. And we definitely saw the dalliance between these two leaders. In Kenya, we've seen this statement manifesting that there are no permanent friends or enemies in politics, only interests align. Are you open to working with Raila Odinga, the broad-based partner of President William Ruto?
I am open to working with anybody who means well for this country. And I want to take this opportunity to tell the supporters of Raila Odinga from Nyanza that they should not fight the mountain people because we are not their enemies at all. We have a problem with President William Ruto. We have no problem with Raila Odinga and ODM. I saw after Raila Odinga lost the AUC elections, some people from Rift Valley, supporters of the president, and some supporters of Raila Odinga trying to blame the mountain people for the loss by the very simple fact some 6-7 women in Karatina market had celebrated the loss. First and foremost, the Mount Kenya people did not have a vote at the AUC. In fact, our only participation in that election as people of Mount Kenya is that the man we made president had a vote. And if he did vote for Raila Odinga, as he says, then the people of Mount Kenya supported the candidature of Raila Odinga. We have no problem with Raila Odinga. I've had a lot of consultations with the people from the mountain. In fact, I have done almost 400 meetings in the last 4 months.
And we'll get to that.
And the people of that area have asked me to look for friends. And we are open to working with anybody who means well for this country. You know?
But we're talking about a man you decampaigned vigorously in the previous election. A man who mobilized his MPs to vote against you during the impeachment.
The voting against me by ODM people is neither here nor there. The person who orchestrated the impeachment is William Ruto. That's the person we have a problem with. He deceived the ODM people the way he deceived all us in the mountain. And for the record, we, for many years, had problems with Raila Odinga because he had been demonized as somebody who is against the mountain people. In 2020, President Uhuru Kenyatta convinced us that Raila Odinga is a good man. But President William Ruto, then Deputy President, convinced us that Raila is a bad man, he's a witch doctor, he is a lot of poverty, he means bad for this country, and William Ruto admittedly was more persuasive than Uhuru Kenyatta.
But you're on record saying this.
No, I'm just saying, he persuaded us. And after he became president, he looked for Raila Odinga and he said he's a good man. So Raila Odinga has been cleaned by everybody. President Uhuru Kenyatta said he's a good man. William Ruto, who told us he's a witch doctor, who told us he's a lot of poverty, who told us he has no plan, who told us he is randaress, who told us he's planless, today is singing praises for him as the best leader, not just for Kenya, but for Africa. So we refused to vote for Raila Odinga, not because he was a very bad man, but William Ruto convinced us he's bad. Again, I must say that Raila Odinga was a victim of our community's distaste for betrayal. We felt that Uhuru Kenyatta had betrayed William Ruto by looking for Raila Odinga. So because we hate betrayal, we decided to punish Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta at the same time. But still 1.1 million people from our region voted for Raila Odinga. But now that William Ruto has betrayed us, knowing very well that he is a beneficiary of our community's distaste for betrayal, we are through with him. So Raila Odinga is there. He has not betrayed us. He has not done anything so grave, you know, that in our view makes it impossible for us to work together. But I have heard him say that he's going to consult very widely and he'll say the way forward. If he wants to be president, he can talk to us. We don't have a problem. And I also want to tell Raila Odinga and his supporters, I know I am not qualified to advise him, but from my working with President William Ruto, myself and my community, let them be very careful. I have heard them promise him to be prime minister. That is a lie, it's conmanship. There's no such position available in this country because it's not there in the constitution. For you to create the position of prime minister, it means you have to change the structure of government. You would have to go for a referendum.
Yes.
Today, if there is a referendum, it will be a referendum against the leadership of President William Ruto. And you will lose in the morning. So that position of prime minister is not available.
So who's playing who?
No, William Ruto is playing Raila Odinga. Let me tell you. There is no such position. So it's just a con. Number two, I think, to be fair to Raila Odinga, I think he has risen above that position of prime minister. The man has wanted to be president 5 times. He now wanted to be the chairman of the African Union Commission. I think taking him back to the position of prime minister is a bit demeaning. In my view, the former prime minister has 2 options, in my view. I cannot advise him. I cannot pretend I have the capacity to advise him. He either retires in dignity or he goes for the presidency. Because there's no way you can ask for the presidency for 5 times and then you demean yourself, you want to become a prime minister. No. I think that will be very, very demeaning. But again, finally,
yes.
I want to ask my brother, President William Ruto. Now that you say this man is a witch doctor, he's the Lord of poverty, he is the real problem of this country. You have changed your mind, you are saying he's the best for Africa. He means well for this country. Why don't you, if you are genuine, consider to do 1 term and endorse him to be president in the next election? If you really genuine that this man is so good, this man can sort out this country. If really that is from the bottom of your hand, of your heart, since you have done 5 years, you are going to do 5 years and you have not done very well, why don't you consider to allow this man to be president? So what I would like to say is that in my discussions with the people, we have, by the way, I must tell you in those discussions, if you want me to tell you.
And we'll get to that.
We'll get there. Yes. But I'm saying we are not opposed to working with Raila Odinga.
You're willing to support?
Already we are working with Kalonzo Musyoka. We are working with Eugene Wamalwa. We are working with Fred Matiang'i. We are working with Eugene Wamalwa. We are working with all like-minded Kenyans. If Raila Odinga does not make a decision to destroy his legacy and support President William Ruto and decides to join the rest of Kenyans in trying to liberate our country and get it back in the right footing, and calls upon us for a discussion on the possibility of working together in whatever formation.
You're open to that? We
are open to that discussion. We are not selfish people. By the way, myself and my community are on record having supported somebody else. William Ruto, he's not one of us. Today he's calling us tribalists, despite the fact that we supported him, knowing very well he's not one of us. And because we are not tribal, we supported him, and he became president. We also are amiable and ready, if need be, to support another person, maybe it Raila Odinga, maybe it Kalonzo, maybe Wamalwa. We can support anybody, and whoever we decide to support. And take it from me today, and you'll ask me 2 years from now. Whoever we decide to support, we have 2 options. We can have our own candidate from the mountain, and we are good. If we decide for whatever reason that it's better to support somebody else, whoever we decide to support, that will be the next president of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay, time will tell. You said you're open to working with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
Have you had a meeting with former President Uhuru Kenyatta? Did you bury the hatchet? Because there's some who still point fingers at you, blaming you for the push and pull after the current Kenya Kwanza administration came to office, that perhaps the raid at his farm might have been orchestrated by Rigathi Gachagua. Have you had a meeting with the former head of state ever since you were impeached?
You know, Uhuru Kenyatta is my elder brother. I was his PA, and he's our leader as a community.
Okay.
It is inappropriate for me to discuss him in public because I'm a junior elder in the community, he's a senior elder, and discussions of elders in our community is a preserve of that community.
We're just asking if you met him. Come on. You're a truthful man.
What I'm saying is that Uhuru Kenyatta is our brother, our son, and our leader. And he's retired, and we respect his status and his retirement. But when we need advice from him as a community, it's always available.
So let me rephrase the question. What do you tell those who see former President Uhuru Kenyatta's hand in the appointment of Uhuru's men, as they're commonly referred to? Some of the CSs we saw recently appointed, Mutahi Kagwe, Kinyanjui.
There's no problem whether Uhuru had a hand or no hand. It, to me, is irrelevant. And he's a Kenyan. If he proposes some people to be appointed and they're appointed, so be it. What is important for us, especially for the mountain, is that those appointments amounted to nothing, because they were meant to pacify the region that is very unhappy with the President William Ruto for deceiving them, for mismanaging the economy, and for destroying leaders in the region. And immediately they were appointed, there was a saying among our people that even if you revive Mwai Kibaki, Jomo Kenyatta, and Dedan Kimathi, nothing would change. So we are really not bothered. Let them go and work. They have been given a job to do. Let them go and do the job that they were given to do. We wish them well. If they can make a change and people of Kenya are better off than they were before they were appointed, we appreciate. They are our sons. Right. And we don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why the delay in forming your political party? Because going by your own timelines, we were supposed to have that launch early this year. It was pushed, and now we expect that launch in May. Are you having challenges in registering?
No challenges at all.
Yeah.
I had, when I left office, the people of my region,
Therapy Kenya, sawa. Amesema I don't know what that is, sawa, but hello hand therapy Kenya. And then there's Peter Kimani asema good Zulfa. I think he meant good morning. Zulfa and Felix, everyone hope mko poa. Tuko fine. How are you, Peter? Also, tumeweza kusikiza maneno pale, sindio, ya bwana Rigathi Gachagua, maneno mengi sana, sawa? Mengi, a lot. And ujo bado, if you want to know more, go to KTN. Yes. So that was courtesy of KTN. Yes. Unaona? Mwende pale msikize. The full conversation. Sasa, because we have like roughly, I'm going to say 15 minutes. What can you say about that? Vitu amesema pale juu ametotoa siti wakadha.
At some point, managing the economy. This guy yes, I'm trying to say at some point this guy has really tried, if possible, to make Kenyans understand some of the issues. Ukisikia vizuri kuna mahali alisema pia yeye akiwa kwa government he was given the same pressure. Just like Mr. Yes. I don't know still who is Mr. Yes, by the way Gachagua kuna maneno.
Mr. Yes is Mr. Kindiki.
Why do you think anamuita hivyo?
Because he always just says yes, as the things that it has. Unaona tu huyu mtu ameambiwa tu kitu hata hajaweza kuipinga kidogo. And I think that is a moment that he was slapped. Unaona? I'm sorry. That moment that we had that he had been slapped. So after he was saying that dainaje kuwatetea na mnakidnap watoto, and then he was slapped. From then I think he has been a yes person. Alirudishwa kwa line.
You want to tell me that is why anamrefer kama Mr. Yes?
No, that is just my opinion. Because remember we all did that thing of Mr. Kindiki being slapped and going to South Africa last year. And then he comes and have glasses. And I remember one day was here and one day was like, hey, Felix kidogo nza kuwa pia hata yeye, unaona, amefikiwa. But the thing is, I think then from there, akakuwa to a yes person. sawa, akaga tu anasema yes sir, yes that.
And wakati nilikuwa ninajaribu kumsikiza Bwana Gachagua, he was trying to, in fact amesema mambo mengi sana yenye hata hatuwezi manage at least kuyazungumzia yote. So he was trying to say that when he was in the government, he was also told that if possible, thank you so much Peter, thank you so much Peter. So amejaribu kuzungumzia mambo mengi, just like as I said, and na kitu yenye ilichukua attention is that when he was in the government, he was also pushed to that direction, but he decided to say no. He could even get information that every president has never tried to let his seat just go, and he is in power. So meaning whatever is going on, according to Mr. Gachagua, he is trying to say that everything that is going on it is scripted. I heard him say that people of Mount Kenya have no problem with Raila.
Yeah, amesema they were fed a story that wasn't true. That the first time that Mr. Uhuru came to them telling them that Mr. Raila is a good person, they didn't listen, because Ruto had said he's a bad person. And now they are regretting it, because sasa huyo mtu ambaye alikuwa anambia ni mbaya sasa ameshamuunga mkono, praising him.
So anasema like people of Mount Kenya, they have got no problem with Raila, but they have got a big problem with President Ruto, because he orchestrated his what? Impeachment. And now this is my question. Kenyans, siku baya, will we still have that trust in Gachagua and his information, ama bado tubaki tukiwa katikati tukuje kuona baadaye kani ukweli ama ni uongo?
For now I think we said langu jicho. Langu jicho. It's just looking.
Langu jicho anje. Aya, unajua wengine si Waswahili, sasa lazima ujaribu
yani as you have said, umesema to observe. Sindio? We observe, because at first akosema huyu mtu ni mbaya, and now he said ni mzuri. So let us see sasa how this one will end. Sindio?
So you know, Zulfa, let me remind you something. I can advise Kenyans that they should be at the right position whereby they can make a good focus over these people. You know, politicians are politicians. Politicians watafanya tugongana at some point. Politicians watafanya tupendane. Let us not take Mr. Gashagua's maybe information too personal. Unaona? Na pia tusijaribu kutake for granted. Nisiongea vibaya though.
No, huongea vibaya.
So wasijaribu kutake for granted information yenye anapeana. Wanafaa wasimame somewhere else, mal wako neutral, wa focus. Wa focus. Ama ni aje?
It is true.
Yes, wa focus. Baadaye wakikuja kuconfirm like the right person ni huyu. Unajua, let me tell you the truth. Nothing is impossible for any breathing man. Nothing is possible. Nothing is impossible, I tell you. So coming to know the right person will never be impossible, but it will be possible. Unanielewa? Unanielewa my sister?
I understand you.
Unanielewa kabisa?
Nothing is impossible.
Nothing. Totally?
Nothing.
Nothing is impossible. So tusimame mahali tutafocus. Mahali tutafocus so that we can make fair judgment later on on how maybe you are going to know who to work with. Msikwe mnachukia Rigathi Gachagua for nothing. Msikwe mnachukia President Ruto for nothing. Raila the same. Why wakikutana wao wanasalimiana wakicheka? Now that is the question.
Yeah. Yes.
Mnajiulizanga hiyo?
Yes. In fact, yes. Yes.
Wa Kenya tutakutana hapo nje, tutalimana mawe, tutachapana mangumi. Let me tell you the truth, those people wakikutana wanakutana Karen huko ama hoteli nyingine kubwa, wanaongea tu, wanakula. Mbona walimani wao? Mbona
wao walimani?
Mbona walimani? Raila alikuwa hapa akituambia hizo pesa zenye mmepata Hustler Fund msirudishe. Sasa yako wapi yeye? Na nini kimemfanya aingie hapo? Tafadhali, let us not be judgmental. Let us not take everything right on our hands according to the way we do get information from politicians. But let us stand somewhere and focus. Let us open and let us wake up and open our eyes. Let us stand somewhere and focus and see who is real. Unanielewa? Let me tell you the truth. Mtu akimsikiza Gachagua vizuri, sawa, anaweza chukia President Ruto with passion. Sawa? Mtu akimsikiza President Ruto vizuri, atamchukia Rigathi Gachagua with passion. Sasa tutakuwa wapi? Where are we supposed to stand? So my message to Kenyans, let us not take political issues personal. Yeah, if possible, wacha tusimame mahali. Kama ni Rigathi Gachagua, thank you. Kama ni William Ruto, the president, thank you.
You're saying ukweli. Umesema ukweli.
Mimi siwadanganyi. These people knows what they are doing and they are really playing game. What if upata like ni walielewananga like what ifike time upatie Kindiki nafasi uanzishe lakini mwingine amalize. Tutajua? Tutajua. Sawa? Rigathi Gachagua and naweza sema nini? I don't know. At some point, okay, this is my point. Let us not be those diehards of a certain individual to an extent we can even kill without clear information. Mimi wacha nikwambie ukweli Zolfa. Nijipate kwa kikundi chenye kinamchukia President Ruto niongee Rigathi vibaya, ninaweza pigwa. Nijipate kwa kikundi kinachompenda President Ruto kinamchukia Rigathi Gachagua, alafu niongee Rigathi Gachagua vizuri, watu wa president watanipiga. Unanielewa? That will never be the answer. We as a country, how do I wish Kenyans could know how we have a very beautiful flag, and meaning a very beautiful country. These political differences and tensions that they are trying to create, they won't be there. Kama ni manafasi wa maybe a politicians wanajitafutia kwa government, then they could use a different and good formula to do so.
I'm going to read the comments there. So, kuna Rachel Joy anasema I think by the way Kenya's former deputy president ametuambia vitu na zenye chukulie viwe serious juu maybe atu assist hapa mbele hatujui kile kitajiri. Alafu kuna Peter Kimanasema I think you need to go through the whole interview. There's a lot of things Gachagua said and it's what people say are ground. If you listen what he said in the interview, no government psychopath has come to deny. So basically sawa, that is good because pale amda ndakuomba useme what you can say, useme jina tumalize alafu tupatane show ya katikati, we continue with the same argument, the same energy.
What I can just say What I can just say is that at some point we can judge things according to vile tumesikia, sawa, na kuona. And truly this will ever be dangerous. So just as I said, wacha tusimame mahali. Let us make observations, and let us be very observant. If possible, at sometimes let us try to put into practice of maybe going deeper into the information to prove whether the information is biased, or it is good, or it is bad. We will ever help our future. Lakini Zulfa tukianza kusema like Rigathi ni mtu mbaya, utapata Rigathi mwenye unasema ni mbaya ndio mzuri. The moment ama at some point usema President Ruto Sugoi ndio wanasemanga sivyo? President Ruto Sugoi, you will never, that will never be the answer. I'm telling you the truth. So my people, I really love you so much, and I'm really expecting you guys. Let us work together to change our country, Kenya.
Without, kama vile yule Collins alisema jana, bila kunijudge na jina langu la mwisho.
Yes?
Bila kujudge mtu na jina lake la mwisho.
Yes. Let us not do that. Let us not do that. Tusijaribu kujudge tu mtu kulingana maybe ni jina la mwisho. Ulisikia nani Rigathi Gachagua kuna mahali alisema if possible he is trying to defend his own right, because when Moses Wetangula was summoned for impeachment, Luhya people, some of the individuals from the Luhya people could stand firm and say no, and they could defend him. Right?
Yes, it is true. It is true.
Nanielewa?
Mpaka pale anasema yule nani anasema sawa? What I think is, let us not trust politicians completely.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Akona jina mzuri aje. Is she the first lady?
Rachel?
Tunaweza pata ni first lady yako hapa. Anyway, welcome Rachel. So that was the point. That is their point. At some point, those people could give just speeches to pass time. You understand? Yeah. Nani aliwahi jua iti President Ruto anaweza kuja kwa line na Raila? Hakukuwa mtu mwenye anajua.
Hakuna.
Na vile Raila alikuwa anakaa against. Nobody knew.
They were against each other.
Yes. 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 So the best thing we really need to do, we really need to remember that we are covered by one flag. Jua kuna mtu mwenye aliwahi peana opinion ya kubadilisha the colors of our flag. Nilimfikiria sana hiyo kitu. Alikuwa na suggest sijui ni aliletanga motion parliament. By the siku zimeenda sikumbuki vizuri. I started thinking, sasa kama mtu anasema tubadilishe flag yenye tuligain nayo independence, then how futuristic are these leaders? Kama mtu anaweza suggest if possible we change the way our flag looks. By that, do you know that our flag is one of the most beautiful
things?
Let us say the truth. Kenyan flag by that is very beautiful.
Anataka we change kwea kala.
Sasa sikujui hiyo kitu ilikuwa sijui ni 20 what. Somebody could suggest if possible.
No. No.
Aje.
No.
Ama ni juu tumeizoa ndo maana inakata.
This is the most, in fact, anthem yetu na flag yetu. In fact, Kenya is the only country with a shape.
Wallahi. Trust me. Umewahi sikia the music instrumental ya national anthem?
See, it was played in Paris. It was played in Paris.
Let me tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Zulfa? Even if we can change leadership, still we might not find the solution. Even if we can change leadership, still we cannot get the solution. The solution will ever come wakati tutakuwa tumejielewa sasa sisi kama Wakenya tunataka nini. Na let me tell you the truth. Unaona ile siku yenye leaders watasahau ile story ya kujiconsider vizuri hivi, wabebange shida za watu. That will be the moment, the very very first 3 years Kenya itakuwa the developed countries. Haitakuwa third world anymore.
True.
Kama ni respect, Kenya's got respect. Right? Kama ni potential, we have got potential. Then what do you think is acting as an obstacle to our destiny as a country? Corruption. Ukimsikiza Gachagua alikuwa anasema nini? A president should not allow himself to get out of power because he has already powers. Sawa? What is that if not corruption? So let us love let us love each other. Let us avoid contradictions. Let us try to foster our Kenyan development projects to go ahead. Even if we can make one step ahead, it is better than remaining stagnant. It is better than remaining stagnant, I tell you. So don't allow anybody to just come and convince you that huyu ni mbaya, eti si mnajua hii mtu ni mbaya, si mnajua hii mtu. Hakuna mtu mbaya, hakuna mtu mzuri. Hakuna mtu mbaya, hakuna mtu mzuri. Hakuna mtu mbaya, hakuna mtu mzuri. And I'm really, really grateful that our country, Kenya, in the future will be one of the most developed countries when it comes to industries, infrastructure, health, education, and other things that I'm unable to mention. We cannot just assume that this is the point where this is not the point. So let us stay focused. Let us stay determined. And let our destiny let justice be our shield and defender. Tusijaribu kuvurugana kwa vitu zenye zinakaa fani. Unaweza soma your comment.
Okay. Rachel Joy anasema if this is what every politicians will be telling us, then I think we may be heading as a country to a jungle where by we may not get out of it.
And that is true. That is true, Rachel. Rachel, that is true. That is a pure truth. I can repeat myself that is a pure truth. Let us love those politicians, yes, but let us not give them a room to control ourselves. Please, Kenyans, don't, and stop worshipping. Stop worshipping politicians. Stop it. This is Plains and Felix, and I really appreciate you guys. Wherever maybe niliongea vibaya, I'm really sorry. But the fact is, we really need to know what we want, and if possible, nirekebisha where possible, nikurekebisha where possible, uone kama hatutasonga. Ukikasirika juu nimekurekebisha, that will never be your achievement. Instead, no day you will ever make a change in your life if you cannot maybe listen to the advice from someone mwenye kukando yako. Wakati unaambiwa unapotea, ni sawa. Kama unaona haupotei, please take your time when you are free. Jichukue kwa meeting, jiulize ni nini imefanya nimeambiwa hivi, ni nini hii imefanya niamue mimi mwenyewe eti ni hii ndo nimeamua kufanya. Later on, make a fair judgment, and that will never ruin your life. That will never ever ruin your life. So this is Plains and Felix, and I really appreciate you. I welcome you all. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Rachel Joy. Rachel Joy, we tunakuanga live every day, as from 8 to 10, as from 12 to 2, and as from 4 to 6. May you have a nice day. Back to you, my sister.
Okay, so I don't need to add anything because Felix amesema ukweli na hiyo ndio ukweli. Si ndio? Tutamta kusema ukweli, hakuna kuongeza anything hapo juu because hakuna kutia maji kwa tembo. So this is Zulfa, tupatane kwenye show ya katikati. That is saa 6 kamili. Bye bye.